All right, top 5 teams in need of the QB in this cycle. Now that Austin Novosad has made his commitment to Baylor, brought Glenn to Ohio State, the list is getting smaller, and there were teams in the mix for a lot of these guys that are now kind of out in the cold, and I think there might be 2 or 3 4-star guys uncommitted right now, and the rest then you're getting into, of course, you know, you can grab a 3-star guy and develop him, and they're not always right, but it will make people desperate. Number 5, West Virginia. Yes, they just got JT Daniels. I know they have a quarterback next year, but Graham Harrell coming in, you would think if you're planning out, you'd want to sign a quarterback in this cycle. They don't have one committed, and I think if they want to be on the upswing and really start getting some recruits to come in and stay there, they've got to get a quarterback to build that class around. They don't have one right now.
You know, the JT, so much focus about JT Daniels that you almost forget about the future. Of course, West Virginia fans haven't forgotten about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to, look up classes as we do this because I have no idea out of memory, where people sit and all that. And so West Virginia's they're a top 30 class right now, I guess. 17 commits and, no quarterback. So, I mean, pretty much, I guess the rule of thumb is to have at least one in every class as best you can. And we saw with Mac Brown what can happen when you try to go all in on a guy, which is why the Novosad thing was such a big deal for Baylor, was because that's what they were risking. They were totally all in on him, and if they didn't get him, they were pretty much screwed. And so that's why it was a massive win other than just beating Ohio State and A&M and whoever else. But, you'd like to have one in every class, and I'm at this point, I think we're all so dadgum ready for the freaking season to just start. Geez Louise, man.
I can't wait to start doing top 5 games.
I am, but I'm not. I just a little more time.
Yeah.
By the way, Tom Harvey on the chat room, West Virginia has a 4-star true freshman on their roster.
Yeah, but see, that doesn't.
I know.
He's not this cycle.
Yeah, but Baylor didn't have one last year. Did they have 22? Didn't they skip a year?
No, that's why I said they're all in on.
Yeah. That's right.
Novosad.
They had drones, right?
He was a freshman last year.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Number 4, I'm sorry. Florida State had Chris Parson committed for a very long time. Now he's not committed. And looks like he might be going to Mississippi State, who might be on this list as well. But FSU does not have a quarterback. Mike Norvell needs one. Jordan Travis is getting towards the end of his eligibility. They've got some younger guys in there that they, like A.J. Duffy from last year's class. But again, if it's about signing a quarterback in every class, because the way that the portal works now, Florida State's really up against it because they lost Parson. They didn't get Brock Glenn, and they lost Parson because they went after Brock Glenn and all of that. So who knows what's going to happen there. But Mike Norvell, again, another recruiting battle that he probably isn't going to win here now. And he needs to start winning, so.
Yeah, I mean, you tell me, you're the Knoll.
Yeah.
I mean, if you say so, then they do.
Yeah. Number 3, Mississippi State, the place. They need a quarterback, but it does look like they're probably going to get Chris Parson, but he's, taking other visits. And look, now that he might be the highest-ranked quarterback left, and there's some of these other, schools in the water, Mississippi State might not be all that big on Chris Parsons' list. Now, he might like Mike Leach, and why wouldn't you? But, Mississippi State. And another reason I say Mississippi State in this list is they're in the SEC West, and everybody around them seems to be getting quarterback except for one team, at least this year, and they're also on this list. But everybody else is kind of getting in that game. And while Mike Leach doesn't need a 4-star guy to win, I think to win games, but to maybe make strides in the conference, he needs to start doing that.
He does in the SEC.
Yeah.
He needs something because, I mean, he doesn't necessarily have to be a 4-star like you said, but it can't be just some Joe Schmo going up against the Bama defense and the Georgia defense and all that and just thinking you're just going to whip it around for, 67 attempts a game.
By the way, I think Bama has the number 6 and 7 guys both committed in their own class.
Don't they have the numbers 1 and 3 or 2 and 3 running backs?
Yeah,
and here they just came with an avalanche of bam, in about a 2-week period, they're right where they usually end up.
Yeah, number 2, Notre Dame. Missed out on Austin Novosad, among others, and now they have to kind of go and find their quarterback in this class. Something I'm sure Marcus Freeman will eventually figure out, but the quarterback position at Notre Dame hasn't been set up, even as well as they've played over the last couple of years, set up just with the line of succession that they normally had in the past. So right now Notre Dame's looking for a quarterback after Austin Novosad committed to Baylor.
Part of the deal with Novosad and Notre Dame was obviously that they got in late. A&M knew they could come in late. And Ohio State came in late, but they also knew they could as well.
They're Ohio State.
The deal with Notre Dame is that one of the things that was very intriguing to Austin was their academics. Well, you could say that about a couple of others too, but the academics and who you are after you leave as a Notre Dame grad. Not that you don't have that at Ohio State or A&M or Baylor, but that really was a tug to him, no question.
If you're the winning quarterback on a Notre Dame football team, I doubt you want for anything for the rest of your life.
Last year was the last one. National championship quarterback at Notre Dame.
Was it Tony Rice?
Tony Rice in, I think, 88 with Lou Holtz.
Yeah. Number 1, Texas A&M. Missed out on Eli Holstein. Missed out on Austin Novosad. So now you wonder where they're going to go. Look, they've got some young guys. Like Haynes King is only a sophomore, and Connor Weigman is a true freshman. They have plenty of depth there, but they were really going hard after a quarterback in this cycle, and if they get one, I doubt it's going to be one that's ranked very high. So A&M now kind of set into scramble mode when it comes to the quarterback. I know they hosted Malachi Nelson, but I don't think that's really going to happen. I think that's more of just a fact-finding mission on Nelson's part.
Well, again, he's got USC, and he was there. Was he committed originally
to Oklahoma?
Craig to Oklahoma, and Riley switched, so that's one of those. But, yeah, Malachi Nelson, at least visiting, it was kind of interesting. Maybe they knew then that Novosad was not going to work out. Maybe that's why they we know Ohio State got Glenn, over the weekend, the quarterback. So maybe they, hey, Malachi, come here. Let's see what we can do. Whether that's true or not, I think since he was at Oklahoma with Riley was going to be there, that he's pretty much going to stay at USC where Riley is.
Yeah, that's what I would assume. And for A&M, I mean, it's a problem. I saw what'd you say about Chris Parson earlier?
Mississippi State looks the leader right now, but look, there's all these other teams in the water now.
Yeah, I mean, A&M, I just saw some random article mentioning him with them as well. And, I mean, they'll be on the hunt, that's for sure. But yeah, A&M, I think that's their big question mark. It sure seemed like every fan base that was pursuing Novosad thought that they were going to land him. I mean, I think Ohio State probably feels like, well, if we had really there's all of that. If we really wanted it, well, A&M clearly really wanted him because they need him. Notre Dame clearly wanted him. I think Ohio State actually can strike out, and as we saw, they got a quarterback the same time frame, so they'll be fine. But yeah, for Notre Dame and A&M in particular, it's a big question mark.
Two
right
of
now.
those 5, you're right, were the ones that had a chance, and they don't have the quarterback because of the decision with Austin Novosad to remain committed, reaffirmed his commitment.